Happy 2025. We are kicking it off with an absolute bang as we have some of our favorite altcoins, XLM, XRP, and the likes are absolutely rallying. Is this literally the beginning? Is the beginning of 2025 the beginning of the altcoin rally we've all been talking about, we've all been waiting for? What's behind the move behind XLM? What's happening with XRP? We're going to talk about Chainlink. We're going to talk about Ethereum. We also have our special guest joining us today to talk about some AI and give you some alpha on some AI agents and a lot of stuff in that space. And so we have a lot to cover today. Happy New Year, my friends, and let's kick off 2025 with a bang. Let's go.
Hola!
Man.
Yeah, that's that out partying, out ringing the new
My ears
year
are bleeding.
the New Year hola, baby. Man, I was out last night celebrating New Year's. What a good time.
I was up because my dog was just crying the whole time. It was on fireworks.
Oh, you know?
Homie, I was like, come here, just come
See,
here.
that's the difference between me and you, because last night I was actually shooting fireworks at my dog. I'm like, you have to face your fears, and just shooting bottle rockets at her, you know?
Peter, if you're listening, I have nothing to do with this. I removed myself from the situation. You, Ashley, we should look into this man's, talks a lot about animal abuse, you know?
We got Ashley back there. What's happening? Hey.
Hi, Ashley.
All right. What's up? Happy New Year. Yeah. All right.
He said, before you say anything, I'm just going to. Anyways, guys, all jokes aside, Happy New Year. We're excited to kick off 2025. Man, let me tell you something. I was sitting there last night. I was reflecting. 2024 was a good year, right? Every year's got its ups and downs, whether it's in personal life, business life, your relationship, financially. I don't think I've ever been excited about a year more than I'm excited about 2025. From a personal standpoint, from a business standpoint, from a financial standpoint. And I'm just super excited that we have a platform to share some of those exciting things with you guys, our community in 2025. So if you've been with us for the last year, 2 years, one day, I don't care. Stay with us. 2025 is going to be an amazing year. We're going to make a lot of memories, and we definitely want you guys to be there along for the ride.
I want to start the show off by saying we have some favorite projects. I have some favorite projects, and there are, and just about, I have maybe five or seven different crypto projects I talk about damn near daily. And well, we're starting the year off really good with those. There, look, biggest gainers last 24 hours.
You called Phantom, dude.
You got
What about Phantom?
you got Stellar up 30% on the 24 hours, absolutely exploding. Just up this morning when I woke up, it was at like 18%, now up to 28, almost 30% on the 24 hours. Phantom, talked about this yesterday. I said, guys, like Phantom is grossly undervalued. And then you go down the list. You got XRP, Hedera, all up 10%. And then look who is rounding around the corner as well. It is our buddy, our friend, our favorite layer one. It's Cardano.
Did you say our buddy?
Our buddy, our pal. Yeah. So
never heard anyone refer to a blockchain as their buddy.
it's my buddy.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
I like it.
Buddy, old pal. Also, you got Algorand in here.
The first thing I did when I saw XLM up, I looked at like XRP and all the payment coins, right? Typically, when you see big moves like that, and it was a little bit of an anomaly, right? We know they're like XRP's up 10%, and Rob kind of went over. But for one to be up, and when I looked at it, XLM was up 3x that of the next biggest gainer in the like the coin and payment space, right? And so I'm like, someone knows something or something happened. So I'm searching the news. I don't really see anything. And then I go back to a post from Forrest, and I'm like, he had that post. Linda Yaccarino, CEO of X, yesterday posted X payments is coming. Is something happening? I actually did an XLM video. It's actually live on YouTube now. So if you watch that video and you're joining now from the XLM video, welcome. But I kind of give my thesis on why XLM's running. We took a look at the chart. So if you haven't watched that video, wait till after the live and go watch it. If you've already watched it and you're joining us, welcome. But Rob, what do you take from, and I'll just share the post here. What do you take from this yesterday from Linda, the CEO of X? Talk about, hey, in 2024 we changed the world. 2025 will connect you in ways never thought possible. XTV, X Money, Grok, and more. And so this was interesting to me. Again, I don't, my cousin's one of my cousin's friends is a detective, right? And one thing that they always talk about is, look, we're not allowed to believe in coincidences. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a detective or you're a detective, but at the end of the day, is it a coincidence that we've had some of the smartest people calling out the fact that maybe Stellar is going to be used as payments for X? And then is it a surprise or a coincidence that we're also getting Linda coming out and saying, hey, yeah, payments is coming? There's also a coincidence that XLM is starting to rally, is up 30%, while the next stablecoin or payments network is up only like 10 or 11%. So I don't know. Of course, nothing has been, verified. No one said, yes, we're doing it on Stellar or we're building on Stellar. But people speculate and prices go up when people speculate. And that's kind of what we're seeing. So I don't know. Interesting. This is something I'm definitely keeping an eye on. But at the end of the day, I think we can all agree X payments in some way will probably have crypto. Maybe not right away, but I think at some point in the very, very, very near future, we're gonna get some crypto in there. What are your thoughts, Rob? Do you put two and two together? Are you
I'm telling
you
you,
down to speculate a little bit?
X is going to be, I think X is going to be very similar to what you see out of WeChat in China. WeChat is kind of like the all-in-one app, right? It's your shopping, it's your payments, this is your social media. It's also a vector for the Chinese government to spy on you. So I think that might be excluded from X, but I think that's exactly the direction X is going, right? X has AI, right? You have Grok, you have the social media aspect, and I think payments is the next one coming down the pipeline. And a lot of people are a big fan of X because it's freedom of speech and it kind of unplugs from the control of the government. And so if you can have a payments infrastructure that isn't influenced or isn't levered by the government, then at that point it's just like what's kind of stopping it from being a major powerhouse? Because there's so many people that talk very positively about X and what Elon has done for free speech. I mean, what if we have the same kind of ideology when it comes to crypto, right? What if we have, or not necessarily crypto, but at least, payments, right? And maybe the days of using Zelle is out of the window, right? Maybe 12 months from now, instead of everyone talking about Zelle me, we're just like, hey, what's your Twitter handle or what's your X handle? I'll send you some payments or whatever it is, right? And so,
or even there's a lot of really good accounts on X that post threads and take their time and talk about different things, and have a function in there where you can like tip them, right? Kind of like
the tipping is in there. I don't think I thought a lot of people were really bullish on the tipping initially, but didn't really. I haven't seen.
I mean, you're asked to tip the gas station clerk for nothing. I figure you can tip.
Well, I think where the big positive comes out of is international is the movement of money internationally between retail and individuals, right? And so we go to conferences all the time, and we meet a lot of people that are not native to the U.S. And in talking to them, like, how would you send somebody money that you barely know that you meet that lives in another country? You're not going to use a SWIFT system and do a wire transfer, no. Yeah. And so you have a blockchain thing, and then you're like, oh, what network? And then all of a sudden, the U.S.-based network doesn't offer, you can't buy Tron or something like that. Like, Tron's a great example, right? A lot of people internationally in the Middle East use Tron. A little more difficult to buy Tron here in the United States. You can do it, but it's not as simple as just opening up your Coinbase account. And for that reason, I think that if you meet somebody internationally or you have a friend, all you need is their X handle, and then you can just send them money. And I think that even outside of crypto, I think you're just going to be able to just send fiat very, very simply, which I think stable coins will come and play a big role in there. And I think that if you get stable coin regulation, and basically have the U.S. put a framework for, running stable coins out of the U.S., I think, stable coins is probably going to be the default means of payment for X platform, right? I mean, don't you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, we'd like to
I mean, it makes sense.
we'd like to say, oh yeah, you can move Bitcoin, you can got Doge and all that. That's fine. I think that's coming, sure. But stable coins, I think, are going to be the lifeblood of X payments. And I think that's just going to be ultimately bullish for crypto, especially, you're going to have grandmas and uncles and people that necessarily don't have any crypto exposure all of a sudden are going to be holding stable coins.
Well, I mean, that's what a lot of smart people say is, hey, the one that makes the most sense for blockchain and crypto is stablecoin.
Yeah. It's also going to bring people in because all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, I got all this crypto in dollars. And then if you want to go buy something, be like, bro, just buy it. You already have crypto. Like,
yeah.
Like if my dad was sitting on 15 grand in crypto and didn't realize it, I'm like, bro, your X handle, that's all crypto. Like, really? It says $15,000. Like, yeah, $15,000 in crypto. Like, go buy this. Go go buy some AVAX.
He's got it in USDT. He's like, why hasn't it all gone up?
Price will stay the same.
Yeah. We're going to bring our guest on here in like a couple minutes. But what I do want to share really quick is I want to talk about this. Let's take a look at this chart. This was posted by Charlie Balello. Bitcoin returns from 2010 to 2024. Okay, so we'll start in 2015, right? We had the bear market of 2014 where Bitcoin drew down 58%. And then 2015, 35% gains. 2016, 125%. The third year, 1,300%. That was in 2017. Then we had the bear market of 2018 at 73%. 95% in 2019. 2020, I think, was an anomaly because obviously of the pandemic. 300%. And then 2021, I feel like this would have followed what happened in 15, 16, 17, with the third year being the most bullish in the market cycle. But the third year, we essentially in 2021 saw a double top of Bitcoin, plus or minus a few $1,000s. And this is where we are today. We had a massive 2023, right? Relative to what we've seen in previous cycles, 156% in the green. This year, now that the year is over, well, last year, now that the year is finally over, 121% gain for Bitcoin, going from January 1st of 2024 at $42,280 till December 31st of 2024, $93,300. Rob, do you think, real quick, I'll ask you this and then we'll bring our guest on, but do you think that we're going to see more of a end of cycle 2017 level returns, right? Which was 10x that of the year prior? Or do you think we're going to get something like 2020, 2021, where the year before, which would be 2024, will have more gains than the year ahead?
I don't think we're going to get a 10x. So in 2017, it was vastly different than what the market is shaped out to be right now. Also, we broke out a lot earlier, right? We had new all-time high prior to the halving. We are over $100,000, or we were at, just briefly here recently. And so I think we 4x this year for Bitcoin. And then, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can speculate on what the altcoins will look like from there. But I'm still in the camp. I think $400,000 Bitcoin. I know that's probably a lot higher than a lot of other analysts and experts are predicting. But I can't dismiss the power of the U.S. being a net buyer of crypto. And I think we haven't even scratched the surface of how much money is going to pour into the crypto ecosystem from the United States. I mean, especially if Donald Trump makes regulation hurdle, he removes all the regulation hurdles for crypto. Because you know how it is. Me and you, we go to these conferences and we talk to these offshore companies, these blockchain companies, these other layer twos and things of that nature. And we just start talking about US and they're just like, no, man, we can't operate there. And so I just think all this money is going to pour in from US markets. It's the largest economy globally. And so I just think that, you know what, four, maybe 5x out of Bitcoin. And then you lever that up for the altcoin space in totality. It's going to be explosive year. 2025 is going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I can't.
And I've talked about turning this channel into an AI hub, right? Everything you want to know about AI agents, how to make money in AI. We're going to be the channel on YouTube. And so I'm excited to bring our guest on today. First time he's ever been on the show. I'm going to let him introduce himself. His name is Boz. Boz, welcome to the show, my friend. How you doing, brother? Great to see you in person. Well, over the video.
I think we got you muted.
No, we're good.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Testing.
Yeah, we're good. What's up, brother? How you doing,
technology. Well, how are you guys?
We're great, man. Boz, this is my co-host, Robin. The young lady you spoke to earlier is Ashley. She's our producer. We're excited to have you on the show, man. Because this is your first time on the show, do you mind maybe introing yourself to our community, to our people watching?
Yeah, super excited to be here and great to meet you guys. I'm Boz. I've been in startups for 17 years, been part of 2 early teams that were acquired, was the COO of Akash Network, helped Greg bring it, resurrect the project, bring it online, spent about 4 years there. Now I'm a co-founder of a DeFi advisory firm called 4 Moons. We advise hedge funds on their DeFi strategies. Ace runs the BD. One of my partners, Ace, runs the BD and listings for Aerodrome and Velodrome. My other partner, Jason Hitchcock, runs the entire biz division at Third Web, which is the largest dev suite tooling kit in the ecosystem. And the AI hub, they're trying also to be the AI hub for toolkits. And we have our 4th partner, Ash. So really well-rounded individuals. We're deep in the Curve and Convex ecosystem. We're very deep in the Aero and Velodrome ecosystem. And now very deep into the virtuals and creator bit ecosystem. So super excited to be here and talk all things agents.
Yeah, man. You guys, I'm in a couple Telegram groups with you guys. You guys are just crushing it. I mean, I'm sitting there listening to conversations. We're going back and forth, and you guys really have some great insight, which is why I wanted to bring you on today's show. Someone brought up a point yesterday. One of our guests on the show, Miss Teen Crypto, she said, AI is at a point now, more specifically AI agents, where it's so new and people are so excited about it that anything that launches with any sort of narrative, people will bid and buy. What's your strategy are you at this point in the AI stage, are you doing the whole throw at whatever at the wall and see if it sticks? Or are you still methodical in what you decide to, maybe put capital in or advise people to put capital in?
Yeah, so I think that strategy that you have to be methodical. And the reason I provided context of being in startups for a little over 17 years is in the early stages of any project, you never bet on the product. You always bet on the team. I actually just created a thread about this like the other day. You always want to make sure that you want to be methodical. So connect with the developer and the team. Make sure they have the founder market alignment. Are they experienced in the space? Do they understand the market they're pursuing? Do they understand fundamentally the problem that they're trying to solve for? And early on, you don't know how the product it's going to evolve. You don't know if it's going to be pivoting. You don't know really anything. You always bet on the team, and that's where your due diligence starts. If you are mistaking AI agents, and AI agents are an AI startup, they're not a meme coin. I will, fight on that hill. You have to evaluate it from an AI startup perspective, and it always starts with team dynamics. The people that, blind ape, in these projects that are just coming online without doing any due diligence, without verifying the project, verifying the developer or the team behind it, really understand what the market they're pursuing and what kind of problems that there are. They tend to lose quite a bit. Some get lucky, but more often than not, a lot of people lose.
Is there one or two, part of the problem too is a lot of these teams, and you know better than I do, because like you said, with the startups, but a lot of these teams, they don't like to be doxxed and they kind of remain anonymous. So, but if a team is doxxed and you're kind of looking and you're doing your due diligence, what are maybe 1 or 2 red flags that you would look out for that would be an absolute, line in the sand? I'm not even touching this thing.
Yeah, I don't mind anon developers whatsoever, but you need to have some sort of presence online. I've gone on calls with anon developers. They maintain their anonymity, but at least we can actually talk through what the project is and what the problems are and exactly the frameworks that they have. Most of what's really interesting is that AI developers don't really care about anonymity. I think I've talked to almost, many of the projects. They're anon online, but they told they would share their like LinkedIn and their GitHub and whatnot. So red flags would be if a project has launched and they claim to be backed by a company or backed by a developer or the leading dev of a major project, and there's no confirmation from the team or from that entity itself. So you got to look out for that. There's another one, and that's just rampant across any launchpad and ecosystem, is when you have a launchpad of a successful agent, there tends to be like 5 or 6 different agents with nearly the same ticker. People really try to confuse the community. So just be careful with what is shared online. That's just a basic feedback. Cross-reference it with the community, cross-reference it with the mod and the virtuals ecosystem, cross-reference it with other, create your own cabal group of friends that are deep in the space. So you're always looking out for each other and checking the blind spots of each other. There's been, even for me, there's been times where I almost got fooled by very clever people. So just be careful and leverage your network to find the truth.
Amen to that, man. That saying, your network is your net worth, I think is pretty holds pretty true even to this day. I'm curious. There's so many like micro niche narratives within the AI agent space, right? Is there one you're more bullish on? The one for me that's very intriguing is DeSci and AI agents. There's a few of them on there. Yeah. And I'll just kind of throw this up here as well. This was posted by Elisa. DeSci and AI were the 2 biggest narrative gainers in 2024 by mindshare, according to Kaido Data. There's a prototype DeSci agent under 1 million on virtuals, and I'm not promoting this project. I'm not saying this is one that people should buy or that I'm buying, but I just threw this up there as an example. Is there one where you're kind of intrigued by or bullish on, or you think can really lead a narrative in maybe Q1 of 2025?
Yeah, there's a few. So let me just touch on a little bit DeSci. Yeah. I haven't really caught on DeSci yet. I believe in the segment that it is pursuing, because fundraising is hard for a lot of treatments in the DeSci space. Whether it's medicine, whether it's protocols, whether it's vaccines, whatever it is, it's really interesting to incentivize and bootstrap these very talented teams without being burdened by red tape. So I think, crypto is a really good use case for that. I know Brian Armstrong's really bullish on DeSci. CZ's bullish on DeSci. Jesse from Base is super bullish on DeSci. But investors, I guess, or users in the space have to take a really, really long-term look on, when DeSci or a project of DeSci is able to productize and monetize their IP before you can actually see a return. So in between, when they launch, when you bootstrap, when you fund, and then by the time you actually ship a product to the market, especially if it's like a piece of medicine, you have to get through the FDA process, and that takes years. So I guess it just depends on like what kind of investor are you. If you're a long-term investor like I am, yeah, DeSci is a really attractive ecosystem. If you are coming from an ecosystem that is all about meme coins and you just want your 10,000 extra, whatever it is, DeSci is probably not that great for you. Maybe it counts as a bid. Maybe it doesn't. I know there's going to be a lot of speculators in the space though. So that's just on DeSci. Yeah. Yeah. And in terms of other projects and other niches, I know Messari just came out with, Nick Garcia from Messari just posted about the next intraday narrative, which is investment DAOs. We see Vader AI, Dream, and a few others becoming a thing. I actually just talked to a Circle partner that is and has an institutional OTC desk at 717 Capital. They just launched, and it was interesting for me because I'm talking to an institutional, finance background managing director of this team, And he was leaning into figuring out and understanding how they can get a virtual agent to actually automate a portion of their business. So the narrative, like when it comes to that, is like there are traditional businesses out there looking at virtuals, not Web3 developers, not Web3 people. Virtuals right now is like crossing the chasm. And I've already talked to 3 normal businesses, one in law, one in finance, forget the third one, but they're looking at the virtual ecosystem, reading the documents, trying to understand how they can actually build an agent to automate a normal part of their business. And I think that's an incredible thing that we never really talk about. There's 40 million SMBs in the US. Are there opportunities there that with the services that they subscribe to tap into an agent that can automate a portion of their business and whatever niche that they're in? Potentially. So yeah, there's a lot going on in terms of innovation in the space.
Question for somebody that is in that knows about AI and they're starting a traditional business. What would you say to that individual if they were like, hey, you know what, there's AI agents, there's also API plugins for AI services that can kind of do the same thing. Where do you get the positives for an AI agent that runs through Virtual's protocol or some other blockchain based program? What are the benefits that you get out of an AI agent like that versus an API with the traditional, if you want to call it traditional AI program that you would get from a third party?
Okay, let's dive into that. So let's take 2 great companies that we all know, PayPal or Stripe, right? PayPal again has a little over 40 million customers in the US. Basically, put in your PayPal online payment form and pay online. We also see PayPal right now, and we'll touch on Stripe as well, where PayPal launched a stablecoin because merchant business, anybody who's in the merchant space, that business model is dying because everything's moving to stablecoins, which you guys were just beginning to touch on before I hopped on.
Yep.
Now, let's just say you're a landscaping business or a babysitting business or a daycare business, and you have a PayPal portal up. An agent can actually take your payment, any payment from any stablecoin, automatically swap to the stablecoin of choice that is tied to your Coinbase account, like USDC, send it to USD, convert it to USD, and wire it all in one go. An API can't do that. An API does one particular service or task. It isn't knowledgeable for like a low-level task, like a low-level secretarial task, or a low-level like paralegal task, to automate all those specific things. So an agent can actually augment your business model from an operational perspective to lean into a task that you would not hire for, but delegate those specific tasks to increase the efficiencies around those things. I was just talking to a team that is working on, they already have this, by the way. It's an agent. It's a traditional AI agent, and they'll probably be going and connecting them to virtuals. But it's an agent that is automating 90% of a paralegal's tasks. Case law, filing, calling specific people, setting up appointments. This AI is already doing it. And it's working with a very large legal firm here in Arizona. And the managing partners there are just blown away by the efficiencies that this agent is already doing, and based on the savings that they're experiencing. So an API can't do that. An API can't make a call. An API can't make a reservation. An API can't reference case law. An API can't swap based on the rules that you're actually sending. Like, it's not like a trading bot. It's kind of aware of market conditions to swap and transfer and wire based on the rules of your business.
Great info, man.
It's very limited. It's very, very limited.
A lot of people are just, some of them are confused. Some of them they're just like, the idea sounds cool, but like, to what extent can it really go to? And I think you laid out just beautifully. What are just some of the things?
Oh,
And it's interesting.
yeah.
You brought up virtuals multiple times. It kind of sounds like they've been the chosen kind of infrastructure for at least people who, like you said, not even just Web3, but traditional businesses and enterprises, mom and pop shops, or maybe at higher levels that are deciding to build on the virtual, inside the virtual ecosystem. It's just interesting you brought that up. I heard you brought that
Yeah.
up several times.
But yeah, so I'm really agnostic when it comes to launchpads, by the way. The reason I bring up virtuals is when I look at launchpads, so like A16, AI16Z, and the ELIZA framework, I was just reading, it was a trending fork on GitHub. Keep in mind, GitHub has 40 million developers globally. Wow. And this Web3 AI framework was the most forked, most starred, and it was just trending on their main page. It's a phenomenal use case. You know, they exist on Solana. Creator Bid and virtuals are the leading ecosystems on Base. So these are launchpads backed by amazing teams. They have phenomenal agents that are creating traction, adoption, and have amazing utility. When I look at launchpads, to me, I focus primarily on the distribution mechanisms more than the launchpads itself. So to me, virtuals is really interesting because it's part of the Coinbase cabal, right? It is on Base. It is that fourth killer app on Base. We have Morpho, which is lending. We have Aerodrome, which is, on Base. We have Swell. What else do we have? We have virtuals. There's like 4 killer apps right now on Base. Creator Bid is going to be that fifth crown. That's going to be, I think, like king made by the Base ecosystems. The use cases around these agents are like really interesting, but the launchpads to me it's really all about distribution. Whatever it is, whatever kind of product you're bringing online, you always want to make sure that it is market aligned and the product positioning has to fit into a place that is easily to distribute, easily to access, has a lot of users. We see that Coinbase is the number one exchange in the US. All those users are using Base. The Coinbase wallet is migrating those users to access their Coinbase App Store, which are basically the applications on Base. Those people are going to care about a few things. They're going to care about DeFi, Arrow. They're going to go lending. They're going to go to Morpho. They're going to go to agents. They're going to go to Creator Bid and virtuals. So you can see this like vertical alignment between what Coinbase's vision and strategy, the product positioning, and what Base serves as their app store, and all these apps that they're basically routing all these millions of users to actually engage with. I couldn't be more bullish around like what Base's strategy is, how agents fit into that narrative, and then what agents are going to be able to do on behalf of users to augment the tasks. Like agents are going to push you and me out of the market in terms of us doing the task, and they're going to do the tasks for us. They're going to be our online concierge, online representative. Whether people are on Solana, Base, Arbitrum, whatever it is, it doesn't matter because these agents are going to eventually be multi-chain. So yeah,
and then
we're going to be able to tweet.
I was going to say, we also take into account that the U.S. is about to be a lot more progressive on crypto, or at least that's the promise through the executive branch. I think the one company that stands to gain the most is probably Coinbase, and if they have so much of a grasp on the market currently in the altcoin space, or just in the DApp and developer space right now, I mean, as you said, everything is it seems like it's shifting. It shifted last year, or maybe even 2 years ago, from Ethereum to Solana. I feel like the same shift is happening again, but from Solana down to Coinbase. And so I feel like just touching anything in the Coinbase ecosystem going into 2025, I think is probably a no-brainer. And so I've been trying to like pick out like what are the strongest representatives of Coinbase's sector going up. What's in that vertical? Because I think that whole ecosystem is going to rally. Obviously, the big standout right now is, as we've been talking about with the AI agents and kind of the dominance that Coinbase has in it. But I think anything else that's running on Base that's narrative driven, that becomes the next trend, I think it's going to be explosive. So any other big takeaways on Base that you can spot out outside of AI? I mean, is there any other verticals in the Base ecosystem?
So keep in mind what Base is invested in. Their strategic partner is Circle, creator of USDC. Circle is one of the most compliant stablecoin innovators in the space, right? They're compliant in the US. They're also compliant in the EU. And guess which major stablecoin just got delisted from the EU?
USDT.
Correct. Circle's business development team is like the SEAL Team 6 of business development when it comes to sales. They just, like, wherever they go, they just onboard merchants left and right. They have a strong brand. People trust it. So the reason I mention this is they're beginning to onboard a lot of merchants in the EU region. The reason that is important is they also have EURC, which is a tokenized euro. So if you take a look at the foreign exchange market, for currencies, that's about $7 to $8 trillion of volume a day of people changing, USD to euro, Japanese, the JPY currency to AUSD, which is Australia. There's a lot of currency trading in the world. Again, $7 to $8 trillion of that. $4 trillion a day of it is between the euro and USDC. Circle is pushing their institutional partners to leverage USDC and EURC through Base. Most of that traffic is going through Aerodrome. All those fees are going to be going through Base, and Aerodrome is one of the winners. There's also a tremendous amount of volume on Curve. But when you think about like what Base is doing, the BD team behind Base, Brian Armstrong's relationship with Circle overall, Circle's mandate to have USDC, be ubiquitous in the world because the dollar is a really strong brand to lean into and trust. You can kind of connect the dots of like, if we have 10% adoption of the Forex market to be running through Base, that is hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of volume.
You mentioned Aerodrome. You mentioned Aerodrome several times now. I know that's something that's barely inside the, just broke into the top 100 on the market cap list for CMC. Is that, obviously that's something you're pretty bullish on. I know you've mentioned it a several
I like
times.
the team. Yeah, I like the team. Again, it's all about product positioning and the team behind these projects. I think they are a killer app of Base, but you take a look at what they've accomplished in terms of establishing liquidity. I think Base has a little over 2 billion in TVL, a little over 50% of that is on Aerodrome. So if you're a key project and you want to incentivize your pools and liquidity and you want to participate in the Base ecosystem, there's really only one player in town, and that's Aerodrome. You can go to Uniswap, but it's not as efficient as, is that what it is? Is that Base or is that Aerodrome? Yeah.
And Aerodrome
what is Aerodrome?
1.35. Yeah.
Yeah. So about half, right? So if Jesse's goal, which he has put as a North Star for the entire team, is to have $1 trillion of TVL on Base, the size of the pie is going to be growing proportionally, and most of that is going to end up, it's just a thesis on my perspective, is on Aerodrome. They have the right team, they have the right tokenomics, they have proved themselves in a leadership capacity, and they'll win that. Velodrome is the same team, same tokenomics. It's just a completely different strategy for the Optimism superchain. But when you look at Aerodrome, think about Velodrome. When you think about Velodrome, look at Aerodrome. They have an amazing strategy. One's vertically aligned with Coinbase, which is Aerodrome. Velodrome is horizontally aligned, so they are working with Kraken's Ink chain, Sonium, Mode Network, Fractal. Fractal, if you've seen, they have BlackRock in their governance forums making governance proposals to back their stablecoin. Institutional banks are going to have one-click redemptions from stablecoin to USD from Frax, which is a key differentiator. And the liquidity provider that unifies all these 4 chains I just mentioned is going to be Velodrome. So all those fees are going to be gobbled up. We can have like an entire episode to drill into this a little bit more for your audience, but
funny?
I think stablecoin renaissance, agents, I am so excited about the future.
You know what's funny, Boz, is, anytime I invite someone on the show for the first time, I don't like to ask for an hour commitment or a 30-minute commitment. I was like, hey, why don't you come on for 15 minutes? The first thing you said to me was, do you think 15 minutes is going to be enough? I said, probably not, but we'll probably end up extending it. I do. Before I let you go, and I look forward to bringing you on again. This is great information.
Sure.
I hope the people watching, you guys are really paying attention, taking some notes. It's a lot of great info here. Before I let you go, though, I got to ask you for a little bit of alpha. Is there 1 or 2 agents that you're bullish on? And I know this is not you telling people to buy it, but that you've done research on, that you maybe spoke to the team, or that you want to maybe put on people's radars to go look at?
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of amazing teams. And this is also non-financial advice. Let's just talk about the 2 teams recently that I just talked to in the last week. And this is not to throw shade on any other team because they're all really, really talented. But we just spoke to D-King. It's on CreatorBid. It's Draft King. It's kind of like a play on of DraftKings. They're the founder, the co-founder, Max, is the founder of CrunchDAO. CrunchDAO has 7,000 data scientists and 700 PhDs or something. When you talk about AI and a DAO focus on data science, like that is the one. What they've innovated on is the ability. They've created this something called Score Vision. Score Vision will look at soccer games, football games, any type of sport games, and create prediction markets, betting markets, in real time for the betting market world. So you can imagine an agent that is, we have the Super Bowl coming up in a few months. Can you imagine a agent that is looking at the game in real? It's being streamed. It's taking all this information, following every single player on the field, doing whatever analysis and analytics it has, and then creating a market on Polymarket for the users to actually bid or, long or short, their particular positions.
When the Super
They're
Bowl
working
comes
right
out,
now.
Super Bowl odds come out.
So
it's always the prop bets gets the big.
That's not even the crazy part, by the way. This is not even the crazy part. Max has the relationships with the most liquid betting market in the world, soccer. He has so he has the AI background. He has the machine learning background. They already have the Score Vision product already complete. He has the relationships in the industry. This thing is going to be it's just crazy because it replaces so much and it creates everything on chain. The on team is also probably one of the most insane team I've ever come across. I mean, I literally had to walk away and decompress after a conversation with them. They have an agent that is creating prediction markets, period, like on Polymarket. So they have like 256 models, but always competing against each other. The best model wins. The agent leverages that particular model. It's on a scoring, tier system. So imagine, we saw the craziness of what happened with Polymarket. Imagine now an agent creating a Polymarket for anything at any time. And it is rewarded by the success of that market. So it's a predicting agent for prediction market. I don't know how else to describe it other than what does that look like? You and I can actually see a world where, you know, I don't need to create a prediction market. The AI agent, based on historical data, market performance of a particular thing, a narrative in the general world. It could be, Trump says this 10 times in his acceptance speech, or LeBron James wins this, or it could literally be anything.
Oh.
And that's what this agent is being optimized for. And these are the agent teams I've just talked in the last week. There are so many talented other projects and teams behind that. But those are the first two that comes to mind because they're so recent.
Amazing. Man, what a great alpha there. Boz, I definitely look forward to bringing you on again in the near future. I've talked about this on our channel. I think AI is going to be huge in 2025. There's a lot of money to be made. And so for our community, we want to be able to put stuff on their radar and give them information and be able to use that information and to make money with it. So we appreciate your time, my friend. Guys, I highly recommend you go follow Boz on X. I do have his X profile, the link to it in the comment section and pinned to the top. Go follow him. Boz, thank you for your time, brother, and look forward to bringing you on again, man.
Thank you, brother.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you both. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
All right, bye-bye.
See you later. All right. Man, a lot of good info there. Guys, I'm telling you, AI is going to be huge. I'm going to bring you the alpha here on this channel, so make sure you subscribe. With that being said, let's take a look at the markets. We know XLM was rallying. You pull up CoinMarketCap. I'm going to show this. So this is a pattern I showed on the show yesterday, right? This potential head and shoulders. It looks like Bitcoin's trying to kind of put this in the rear view. But the importance is going to be breaking above and closing above this neckline here, right? The dotted green line is your neckline. And as the candles go on, these are daily candles, right? That price target gets higher and higher. Right now, we're currently at 94.1, where we need to close above and build support on top of to invalidate this head and shoulders pattern. If not, we can spill off, and the target we gave was around low $80,000. But take a look at the rest of the markets, Rob. What's ETH doing? What's some of the altcoins doing? XRP, Cardano, I know is up a little bit as well.
All right, so you have Bitcoin's, 94.4, but we've seen a little breakout here since we started the show. Nothing too dramatic as far as the macro, but we went up from 94,000 to 94.5. So essentially, $500 move here doesn't sound like much, but I think it's indicative of the direction of the market. I wouldn't be surprised if we're up to 96 or 97 by the end of the day. Maybe we had a lot of forced selling, or I don't know about forced selling, but we had a lot of institutions and traditional finance that perhaps are exiting their position or closing out their position on Bitcoin because of the profits and tax implications. So now that the new year's here, people might be just jumping back in, right? So I wouldn't be surprised to see a short-term rally. But to take a look at the rest of the altcoin market, we have Ethereum flat as a stable coin right now, at 0% on the 24 hours. But we're starting to see that XRP, XLM looks like these, money movement projects are the ones that are really gaining a lot of steam today. Stellar, XRP, and then also DeFi with Phantom. So it seems like money remittance and cross-border payments, also DeFi, seems to be the narrative at the moment. So maybe something like Aave might be something to take a look at, because if Phantom's moving, where is Aave at right now?
Aave had a really, really big run like 2-3 weeks ago. It's a little bit of a cool off right now.
Yeah, and I mean, Aave is up.
Go to the 1 month.
Like it's up from $300 to $318. You look at the 1 month. It's actually consolidating. It looks like it's forming a symmetrical triangle here. It's pushing down to the downside, which we're going to break to the upside here. I don't have TradingView pulled up, but just on the 1 month, I would expect a breakout. More likely to the upside here, especially if DeFi is, taken off. Wouldn't be surprised to see Aave get up to that $500 mark. Go back to the 1 year, you can see how much movement. This is something that we've been talking about for quite some time. up from under $100. We saw it briefly under $90, around $80. This was just 6 months ago. And so something that we've been very bullish on. Anytime we talk about DeFi, I think we always throw Phantom and Aave into the conversation. So something to keep an eye on, Aave. Also, you take a look at some of the other bigger gainers here. We have Hedera, something that we've been talking about. In the last couple months, we expect a lot of bullish momentum to come out of Hedera's camp. You take a look. Hedera on the 1 day up from 27 cents up to 30 cents. So over a 10% move here. But take a look at the 1 month. Now, it is not performing that great in the last 30 days. However, you go back to the 1 year and you see that back in November, it was at 4 cents and currently right around 30 cents. So damn near a 10x out of Hedera in the last 2 months. And so will the momentum continue? Absolutely, it will. I am so bullish on Hedera. They have a lot of partnerships through traditional companies, some of the biggest names globally. And so not surprised to see Hedera breaking out here. I think we do got another Hedera video coming out tomorrow as well. So if you're a fan of Hedera, also seeing a lot of buzz for ICP in the chat. So
Caffeine AI, bro. Caffeine AI is going to be a game changer.
And ICP is another one. ICP is up today. Was it 6%? It's not one of the biggest gainers, but I mean, you look here. This is ICP on the 24-hour. It is up from $9.70, approaching $11. So some very strong performance at ICP. Now you zoom out on the 1 week. It's down from over $11, but I think it's getting closer to that mark. Look at the 1 month. Down from $13. So I think this is a great buying opportunity. And then, you zoom out to the 1 year and you can see that ICP is still undervalued. So this is why we've talked about ICP over the last few months. Undervalued, extreme utility here. All of this done natively on chain as well. And so big AI play. We know AI is rallying. So if you're a fan of AI, why not get exposure to ICP? And then any of the ones that are down today, you got the meme coins at the top of the list. I think this is just kind of a retracement for the big rally we've had this year. But Pepe, Bonk, and Dog with Hat all down today. Yep, that's what I got, bro.
You think AI agents are going to replace the meme coin? You think that the people that were kind of speculating and really throwing a lot of money on meme coins are moving over to AI agents?
No, I think they run in parallel in the same way that you had NFTs and also meme coins at rally and metaverse plays all kind of pumping together last bull market. And one would cool off and the other one would rally. You would have NFTs would kind of fall to the back seat, and then all of a sudden everyone would talk about metaverse or meme tokens, whatever it is. I think the same is going to be here. I think you're going to get big pushes out of the vertical, which would be meme coins. That'll cool off. AI agents, that'll probably rally. And then, perhaps DeFi or gaming, whatever it is. So, I don't think they're going to cool off, actually.
Cool. Guys, hope you got a lot of great info from today's show.
I did want to get a little love to the chat. I got a lot of new people here. So real quick, if you are new, just say something in the chat real quick. We'll try to give you a little love or a little shout out. We do have, let's see here. We got Credit Block, Lasagna, also Primsky, and let's see here. Trying to catch up with the newest names here. All right. And then also we got J Champ, Hugo, Not Drake, Paul S, Donnie Dabs, Pay the Price, Donas, Mr. M, X Speed, Cubanito, Cryptomaniac, Caspa Queen, Fidel, Franny, Crypto Farmer, Hey, More Money, It's Just Joe, Triangle, Hobby, Donnie Dabs, and Earl S. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Donnie Dabs.
Also, we got Mr. Miles and Kettlebell. So,
you should drink some tea with some honey.
I am, bro.
That boy.
I was out all night last night. Or
you getting those.
Had a good.
You know how I know? You know how I know you had a rough night? You rolled up in here in a tracksuit.
That's right.
Guys, that'll do it for the show today. Also, Margaret said, great channel, just subscribed. Margaret, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Pointing at the wrong camera. We go live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We also do upload videos as well. XLM video was live before the show. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. And with that being said, Ashley? I think I'm going to change the name to it for 2025.
What's going on back there?
It's too late for that, Robin. The show's over. Maybe tomorrow. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much. XRP video dropping in 1 hour. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO